The other day, I was scrolling on Pinterest for more hours than I should be a week, and I saw this picture, and I was like, this is such a nice house. Where is it from? And turns out it's a Sims house. And for those of you that don't know, The Sims is basically the original Bloxburg. You can customize your character, build your own plots, and even have your own family. So today, I'm going to be challenging myself to see just how close I can get the Blox version to match the Sims one. So yeah, let's get into the video. So this is a house that I found on the Sims resource, and this website is basically just like everything The Sims. There's like clothing, makeup, mods, like all that stuff. Basically, if you find something you like, you can just download it and you'll have it in your game. That would be great if we had that on Bloxburg, because those hollow cable roofs, where are you? So this is a house that I picked, and I know it's not entirely fall related, and I tried to search for one, but nothing really came up of it that I wasn't gonna take like 2 years to build. I don't know, I thought this one was cute, and I'm lucky enough that the one that I picked actually did come with a floor plan. It's not in a full picture, but I can just base everything off of this small one, and it also gives you all the pictures of the inside too, so I have tons of pictures to reference here. Pretty much all my work is cut out for me, so this should not be too difficult. So right now, I'm just gonna work on getting my floor plan done, and if it sounds like I'm getting sick, I probably am, but I just don't know why. I sounded so sick today during school, but I don't have a runny nose or anything, and I hate being sick. Next, I'm gonna work on this little porch over here, and it's just gonna be tons of basic shapes. I swear, I don't use like majority of the items, I just use basic shapes. Which you think me saying that I'd be like a realistic builder, but I'm not. You might be thinking things might look a little bit different right now, and that's because I had reinforcements help me to do the roof. Can you guess your budget? Can you guess your budget? If you were to drink one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Sweet tea.
That's disgusting. This freaking bug on my screen, bro. Get off. I'm following it with the mouse right now. I probably look crazy, but that's okay. Bro, you park like an a-hole.
I do.
What is this parking job? It's like at an angle. Like, do you not care? You're killing the grass.
You're sexually impaired, so.
What? What?
You're a woman and you're driving.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
Dude, look, it's so funny when I walk away. Look at the little butt wiggle.
Stop looking at your own butt. That's disgusting.
Oh my god. But now that that's finished, we can start working on the rest of the outside. I have to finish up a couple like windows and doors. And when he did the roof, I did all the porches and the balconies. Anytime I do custom work, I just end up not talking because I'm so focused on what I have to get done. I want to say the outside is pretty much done like structure-wise, so now I'm gonna start the gardening. I never really grew up on The Sims. I know a couple of my friends did, but I've never found it as fun as Bloxburg. I mean, I did like it. I had a little phase. Like we were talking in the beginning on the Sims resource, all the mods you could put in there. So there was just a lot of things you could do, but I just found that Bloxburg was just a lot better and a lot more easy to do. It was probably killing my computer, so it's a good thing that I stopped. My personal opinion is that The Sims is a little bit more towards the roleplay because you have a lot more emotion like in the characters. If you play The Sims, you know what I mean. Since I did play The Sims for a little bit, I knew that you could do build mode stuff like this, so I was like, wait, what if we took like a Sims house and made it in Bloxburg? So that's how we're doing this right now. I did a little bit more touching on the outside, just finishing all the gardening and like some stuff back here, like I had to add a fence. It's kind of sloppy back here, and I know there's a ladder over here, and it's really weird. I didn't realize this when I was gonna build it. There's no stairs in this house, and for me to get upstairs, I'm gonna have to do a hole in the ceiling with a ladder, and that's exactly how they do it too, but I guess I didn't like realize that, which I don't mind doing it, but I can't really get from this room to that room because let's say like I get rid of this wall, it gets rid of part of the roof, and it's the same thing over here. So I'll just have like 2 separate ladders for 2 separate rooms. I set up the entire downstairs, like I added pillars, textures, doors, all that stuff, and that stuff's really boring anyway, so I didn't want you guys to suffer through that. I think I'm gonna start in the kitchen and the dining room because I don't know, like I'm feeling like I want to do that right now. This is the kitchen and dining duo, so they're both gonna be in the same room, and the kitchen is gonna be along these 2 walls, and then there's gonna be a table coming off of this wall, and then obviously my ladder over here. I might struggle today only because I'm kind of forced to build something I wouldn't do myself. I mean, if you just gave me this empty house, I would decorate it in a completely different way, so now I'm kind of forced to do something else, which I mean, I don't mind. I think it's a good way that I can get other styles into my builds. I tried to pick a house that wasn't too far out of my comfort zone, but something that would push me a little bit, and this actually isn't the first time I've done this. Last year I started to do a winter one, and I think I was like almost done with it, and then I just deleted it for some reason. Sometimes I wonder why I delete things that I really like, and I know it's because of the money, but they were such good houses. I guess if I didn't finish it though, it's kind of pointless. I mean, I like the house. The only thing that's really bothering me is the red windows, like the trim on the windows. It's everything else goes together, and then you just throw red in there, and it's just, oh, it looks good in the Sims house, so that's not like supposed to be mean to the person that made it. I think when it converted over to Bloxburg, it didn't do too hot. I thought I recorded myself finishing up the rest of into the kitchen, but apparently I didn't. But honestly, there's not much going on. It's pretty simple. It does look really plain, and I added everything that they did. I think there's just not a lot of decorations in here, but I added the table in the middle, and there's a little baby chair over here too. There isn't any pictures of the entryway, so what I'm gonna do is kind of take the aesthetic that we did in the kitchen and the rest of the house and kind of just mash them together. There is one picture of it, but you can barely see anything, so it's kind of just pointless anyway. There's gonna be like barely any decorations in here. Most of the house they have pictures for, but it's kind of unclear of like what room is what. Girl, this girl just gave me $17,000. For what reason? For what reason? And also, yes, I'm a cat. I'm so glad you guys just asked. I'll change my avatar at some point, but I just wanted to be a cat for a little bit. I think it's cute. I love Minecraft cats. Dude, I love it when people join my server and just like start talking about random things. It is just so entertaining, and I love interacting with you guys. I'm moving on to the living room, and again, this is just pretty simple. There's not a lot of decorations in this house. This is really random, but if there's any of you that are taking a tech course right now, I am so sorry. Currently, I'm taking residential structures, which it's a really nice class, and I enjoy the class and like what we're doing, but I swear the people in that class should not be in there. It's a class of 19 kids, and there's a total of 3 girls in there, so it already sucks. And it was so funny because today the teacher was going over the like dimensions of the garage we have to do. He clearly stated in the beginning of the lesson that the walls are 8 feet high, and a little while later he asked this kid like the kid had a question about something, and he's like, well, how tall are the walls? This kid could not give the teacher an answer because he was shooting out random numbers, and one of the numbers he shot out was 2 feet tall. Who is going to fit in a 2 feet tall house? That does not make any sense. As stupid as this class sounds, it's actually so entertaining. I sit in the back of the class, so I really get to watch everything that happens, and because I'm one of 3 girls in that class, sometimes I'll catch people just looking back at me like, excuse me, why are you looking at me? In the beginning of one class, he said we're gonna start off the class with like a math warm-up, and it was 3 divided by 18, or no, it was 19, and I think it was 0.157 or something like that, and to make that a percentage, you just multiply by 100, so it's 15.7%, and that's the percentage of students that were passing the class. 3 kids out of 19. And this is not a hard class. I think some of the hardest things we've done so far is area, and they still struggle. The more I do this house, the more I realize that the scale still isn't correct. Like if you were to build something based off a real life house, the scale is not going to be correct. And I think The Sims is probably the most similar thing that you could get to being in Bloxburg, because it's a game very similar to us, so it's pretty easy, but it won't always be perfect. So this is like kind of an example of that. I want to say that this is like the master bedroom, but I can't be entirely sure because we still have like the entire upstairs to do, and this is huge, so I would say this is a master bedroom. But in the picture down here they have like a crib over here, so I'm kind of confused, but it's fine. I was just placing kids toys, and I placed this cat, and honestly this looks like my cat, but like very scary. Like it doesn't have buttons for eyes, and it's also not yellow. I have a brown cat, and his name is Bear, and I love that cat so much. So this is my cat Bear. He is so cute, and he lives in such a loving home. We do not like push him, we do not shove him. He is so loved here. Honestly, I think this house is going a lot quicker than I thought it would, because there's literally nothing to it. It's just very minimal decorations. Sometimes the pictures won't show a certain side of the room, so I'll just kind of like fill in something that would be in there. I like to use plants a lot. Okay, this room is definitely cramped. There's 2 beds in here, and one's a bunk bed. There's supposed to be stuff here too, but that is definitely not gonna fit. Thinking back to my other builds, I don't think I ever really do kids rooms because I just don't like the look of the kids toys. It's nothing against them, but I feel like it doesn't fit my builds, so I just don't use them. I don't know if this is just my school, but sometimes we have guest speakers come in, and we had this guy come in, and I don't remember what his name was, but he was funny. He had a good presentation, but I kind of also like didn't understand what his point was, like what the idea of the presentation was. It was from the SAD Club, which is basically like a Students Against Destructive Decisions. It used to be drunk driving, so I mean it talked about stuff like that, but there wasn't a clear story he was telling, I guess. But he made a couple comments, and I was like, whoa, they kind of caught me off guard. Not that they were like too bad, but it was just for someone to hire a guest speaker and then talk about like not school appropriate things was kind of funny. I did look over at the principal, and the look on his face was kind of funny. He didn't look mad, but he looked kind of nervous, which I thought was really funny. This is also the same guy that I saw in the hallway the other day, and listen, I'm a Bills fan. I like the Bills. I don't follow them religiously, but I'll definitely watch them. But my principal is a Cowboys fan, which guys, don't ever become a Cowboys fan. But he was talking in our group about like the win or loss of the Cowboys. I forgot what it was. This was a while ago. And I was like, oh, the Cowboys are cheaters. Somewhat joking, but like I'm also telling the truth because they are cheaters. He gave me me the dirtiest look, and then he just walked away, and I was like, sir, you're a principal, sir. He's a really nice guy though, like I love him, he's awesome. But nice guys are not supposed to have terrible teams. I feel like all the stories I'm telling you guys make it seem like I have a crazy school, but it's really not that bad. But there is some stuff that goes on that I'm like, what the heck? Sometimes I'll be walking in the hallway and there'll be these girls in front of me, and you swear to God, it seems like they haven't talked to each other in 10 years by the way they meet up. They're like yelling and screaming like, oh my God, I miss you so much, and like kiss each other, give each other hugs, like guys. And they will stop in the middle of the hallway too, so you have to walk around them. I'm lucky enough that I found my friend group that I love to hang out with and I don't feel judged, because I don't know if you guys have had that or not, but fake friends, they suck. I just realized I'm not really talking too much, but this is how the library is going. I thought a full wall of shelves would be kind of too much over here, so I just did one that I can put a TV in the middle and then I can do anything on the bottom of the cubbies here. I really wish I could paint these, but I can't because it is the outside, so literally any color I paint it, it's gonna show up on the outside. Okay, this is a fast motion video of me doing the upstairs room because this was so difficult for me to do and I had a really hard time talking while I did it. It was so difficult for me to do because there was so much space I had to fill, and this is literally just a bedroom, so I had to find a lot of things to put in there. And this was also at like 12 at night and I was getting super tired and I was super done, so I didn't want to decorate anything, so I finished it up in the morning. But yeah, this is the part in the build where I kind of just started to fall apart, so sorry. We are finally done with the Sims house and I'm super happy with how it turned out. The outside is pretty spot on, and thanks to Capto for the roof, that definitely helped. There was another gardening thing here. It was like a round circle roundabout thing. I don't know what it was, but I didn't add it on mine. I think the kitchen turned out well too. I'm not really one to use these old appliances, but they actually look so good in this house. I could tell this room was in the floor plan, but it didn't say what, so I just made it a library instead. I might like this room the most because it has the most windows in it, so you get a view from almost every single side. I do also really like the living room. Kids' bedrooms, I could care less about, I guess, because not saying I don't like kids, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't like decorating for kids. The bathrooms are really cute too, and I'm really glad I painted this wall this gingham color. I never really do that, but it's really cute. I think all the rooms are good, but one thing that just stands out still is the red trim. Not that I hate it, it's just so red. The upstairs was the absolute hardest for me because it's such a big and open space that I don't know how to fill it exactly, because this is a huge bedroom. I'm lucky enough that I could cut it off and make some of it a closet. I did add a pool table in here and it's just a little bit custom, but it's still not like great at all. I think everything did turn out really good though. So that was my representation of building a Sims house in Bloxburg. I hope you guys enjoyed the video because I thought it was a really cool concept. The Sims is a game very similar to Bloxburg, so I thought there would be a cute relation there. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe because I'll do videos like this all the time. Also, if you have any video ideas, put them down in the comments because I always read through all of them. But yeah, I will see you next week. Bye!